So Dwayne, one of the biggest problems we see in the industry is that builders often believe that the key to having more money in their business is just to have more jobs. And it's something that the industry really perpetuates as well. This idea that if we just chase more projects, then we'll make more money and then we'll be more profitable and then everything's okay.
Yeah, and it's a terrible way to be, because when you're in that mindset, like everyone thinks more jobs, more money, that's going to solve all their problems, but in reality it can actually be digging you in a deeper hole. We see it all the time, like builders just are working all hours, everyone's saying they got no time, just because they are doing more work, it doesn't fix their cash flow, it doesn't fix any of their problems. So ultimately, by trying to get themselves into a better situation, they're actually digging a deeper hole.
Instead, what we've seen with the builders that we work with is that when they actually start to systemise their businesses, when they start to know their numbers, be able to schedule their time and work with the right clients using the right process, they're actually able to be far more profitable doing less work. It's quite extraordinary, and we've seen quite a few members be able to put this into action in their business, and inevitably then they have a business that's less stressful to run, they can often have a smaller team, they're able to work on less projects but be able to create more profit in their business.
I think it's one of those things, you've got to slow down to go forward, but it's very hard to understand how to slow down when you're treading water, just trying to keep the wheels turning, you're trying to get the cash flow to build up, you're trying to pay your bills, you're trying to keep your team happy, you're trying to you're putting out fires every day. So it's a very stressful time, but like we know now from the hundreds and hundreds of builders that we've worked with that recipe is just disaster. It never ends well. So yeah, by working on your systems, working on your processes, like the whole time you're developing systems, working on processes, listening to content, surrounding yourself with the right people, that's probably a really big one, your mindset's shifting. So you start to understand, you start to see the little wins that you start to have when you start to spend time on different areas of the business. And before you know it, you're in a position where you're thinking like, shit, what's going to go wrong? Like it can't just run this well. And it's not that everything's, like you're still having those same sorts of issues, but your mindset's constantly changing because you're putting the time into the things you should be putting them into.
Yeah, do you want to share the story of Matt? Because I know that Matt, one of our Elevate members, has had huge success in his business from rethinking about how he has a profitable business, and it not just being about more jobs equals more money equals more profit. Yeah,
well, Matt's story is pretty unreal, but look, we've got a lot of members in Elevate that have had very, very similar stories, but like Matt was definitely just stuck in that zone where, and look, let's face it, everything out there promotes turnover. Everyone just wants to promote marketing, promote turnover, and without talking about the issues that are actually happening behind the scenes. So yeah, Matt's story, like his is pretty extraordinary. Like he was turning over double digits in the multi-million dollars. But in the 18 months or so that he's managed to work on himself, work on his business, he's reduced his turnover by over $3.5 million. He's actually halved the size of his carpentry team. And he's actually done more work, and he's made the first profit in over 7 years in business. So it's extraordinary what happens when you know what to work on.
Yeah, and inside Elevate, we have our Successful Builder solution where we talk about the key to profitability, and this is profitability year on year. It's not just flash in the pan, overnight success, you know, 1 year you're great, the next year you're not. The key to that profitability is knowing your numbers, scheduling your time, and working with the right clients in the right process. And so when we give builders these tools, it's amazing what they're able to achieve in their businesses. And like Matt, like Ryan, like other members that we have, they're able to then create these businesses that are lower stress for themselves. They get to have holidays, they get to step away from their businesses, and they're making more profit than they ever have before.
Yeah, and this industry can be very challenging because it's very easy to have quick wins. Like if you don't know what you don't know and you win a couple of jobs and all of a sudden for you it might be a job that's double the value of your last job you've done. So all of a sudden in your mind you think that everything's all good, everything's going well. But reality is if you're not knowing what you don't know, the bigger job's just creating more problems, worse cash flow. So yeah, it's incredible what happens when you surround yourself with the right people and you know what to work on.
A profitable builder knows how to work smarter, not harder.